What is up, YouTube? Old School GS-R here. I want to put a little bit of context on this video before we get into it. The video was shot October, November of last year, and not even a month, not even 2-3 weeks, maybe a month after I started my job, after rebuilding the head, I was involved in a car accident totaling the Integra. So now there's a lot more work I got to do to it. But this was and still is the first episode to the restoration of the Integra. Just under different circumstances now. But I really hope you enjoy this video. I really hope you hit that subscribe button, that like button, that share button. And I am asking you guys to go ahead and put comments in the comment section below. Let me know what I can improve on. Let me know what I can do, or give me ideas for future videos. Even though I already have some, but for shorts and stuff like that, just to kind of get more views out there and stuff. What would you guys like to see? You want to see a little bit of, some retro gaming, because I have Need for Speed on my laptop. I have a bunch of Need for Speed games from when they were first on Windows 98. And so I've got Underground, I've got Underground 2, I've got NFS 2, NFS 3, Hot Pursuit, I got Carbon. Looking to get some other games on the laptop as well and do some retro gaming. Maybe stream on Twitch, but for now, this is where I'm starting with the YouTube videos. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it.
But currently I have got the ARP head studs back in, and I've also got the head back on. I'm in the process of torquing down my head studs. I am at 60 foot-pounds right now. I'm going up to 95. Yes, this is a project car. It is clapped out, but it is definitely my pride and my joy, because I've always wanted to do this, and I've always wanted to build a Honda. Ever since I was a kid, ever since I had my first Honda, which was actually a 1995 or 1996 Honda Odyssey, with the F-Series motor in it. Blew it up on the highway. Unfortunately, ran it out of oil. I was young and naive, so that was back in my teens. Have had several Hondas over the years and have just absolutely fell in love with the Integra. But yeah, just a little bit of a walk around right now on the car, and we'll get back to doing the engine here in a minute. But it does have body work that needs to be done. This is a dent from the previous owner. He got struck by a deer. I had to replace the passenger side window as well, along with the mirror. But there's also some other body work I'm going to do, but I think I'm just going to leave it as is and just dump the money into the motor, make it a sleeper. But yeah, so it's definitely going to be a dream come true for me. I'm already starting on it, getting ready to, this thing's going to be running by this evening for me. But by the time you see this upload and this video uploaded onto YouTube, the car will be running and I will be enjoying it every day. Starting a new job here soon, so I've taken the time between jobs right now to actually fix the vehicle, because it was getting to the point where it was kind of rickety and very sketchy to drive on the road. I've got two tie rod ends, outer tie rod ends that are going on, but there's still some front suspension to be done. I am also still in the process of trying to get the rear brakes redone, because right now the only brakes that work on the vehicle are my front brakes. That is just enough to stop the vehicle in the dry season, but I'm definitely going to be trying to get that done here before the winter hits here in Indiana, because I want all four brakes to work. I don't want to be sliding in to anybody or off the road into a ditch, because that just would not be good. But yeah, enjoy, guys. Hey guys, one more thing that I forgot to mention in the previous clip. There is going to be some cutscenes. There are going to be cuts throughout this video. But what I wanted to say is that this is also my first video. This is my very first serious video. I used to mess around with YouTube when I was younger, just because I felt inspired from the channels I used to watch. Eric the Car Guy, he's up in Michigan. The Boosted Boys with Kyle and the crew back when they were still out in Colorado. He was, Kyle was still in shop class at the time, building his red Honda Civic. He had the 96 Odyssey as well, and he also had a 2001 Odyssey, which he has now turned into what they call the Roudacy. But he is a big inspiration for this, and if Kyle, if you come across this video, man, just want to say a huge shout out to you. Learned a lot from your videos, but I also learned a lot from other channels as well. A lot of the channels that I enjoyed watching were the Boosted Boys, PFI Speed, and also Haggard Garage back when they were still in, still around. Haggard Garage is now disbanded, unfortunately. They were a really awesome channel. But I know Cam Courier and Ricer Miata are actually in Florida, and they're still doing their channels. But yes, all of them have been really big inspirations for me to do this, and a huge inspiration for me to pursue this dream of mine of building my Integra. Now, it just so happens that, yes, I mentioned before that this Integra is a 1995. I got it for dumb cheap, just due to the dent in the vehicle and in the quarter panel. But it's also a factory GS-R, meaning that the VIN on the frame matches the VIN on the motor and transmission. So it's a diamond in the rough, you know, it really is. And that just makes it's just, yeah, this is more of a project and a car that I've, you know, just gives me more reason to do what I want to do to this car, and make it to what I want. And sorry, those are tornado sirens. They do a weekly test on Thursdays around this time up here in Indiana, so don't mind that. But yes, y'all, I mean, it's a rough little build right now, rough little car, but you know, with your guys' support and views, you could help me out big time. I mean, I'm not a big YouTuber at the moment. I'm not a, you know, I just want to do this for fun, you know, and whatever comes of it, you know. It'd be nice to see people get interested into this. It's gonna be slow for me in the start, you know, posting videos and stuff. You know, got other priorities that I've got to focus on as well, you know, my finances, and, you know, just trying to get, you know, keep things afloat at the moment, because it is kind of a rough time in my life. But you know what do we got to do? We got to stay positive, right? We just got to push through the tough times, and whatever happens. And you know what? God is always there. He's got everything under control. He is the one that's planned out your life. He knows exactly what's going to happen. It's just up to you to take those proper steps, and I'm putting my faith in Him to help me get through, and, you know, to kind of guide me through my life, and, you know, help me enjoy what I enjoy to do. And I really feel like, you know, this is going to be an extremely interesting journey for me, and I'm really thankful for it. So I really hope you guys enjoy the video, and I hope to get a subscription from y'all. That would definitely really help out, just to get this thing started. Spread this with your friends. You know, this channel is all about having fun, and also being able to teach, you know, repeat what I have learned and what I am teaching myself, and helping you, the viewer, learn yourselves. But if you're not here to learn, you're just here to watch, I thank you. You guys have a good one. Guys, back. Still kind of waiting for the head bolts to kind of cool down after torquing them. But in the meantime, what I have been doing is I've been putting the new exhaust manifold studs in. And these things are really cool. I got them off of eBay. Okay, they're Allen heads, and they have neochrome collars. These things look absolutely insane. I'll give you a good look at them, if you can see them pretty good there. So, I mean, yeah, you can see them a little bit, but right now I'm just using a normal long ratchet to torque them down, to make sure that they don't come undone, because I've had it happen to me in the past where my exhaust studs have come loose and caused an exhaust leak, obviously. But there are proper torque specs, but I've been doing this for a while, so I do know and I can feel the torque that needs to be done. It's just head bolts, those you really just got to make sure you torque them properly and use the proper tools. Everything else, if you have the experience, go right ahead and do it the way you want to do it. You know, there's no real correct way of doing anything or right way. Everyone has their different ways of doing it. And I'm a big fan of that. Like, if you have your own way of doing something, and as long as it gets the job done and it works and it's long lasting, that's all that matters. You know, you don't want to half butt some stuff, you know what I mean? You want to make sure that you're doing it thoroughly And if you do it thoroughly, it should last. And if you don't know what you're doing, ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask. Always ask for help, and there's always going to be somebody that's going to be willing to help you. But if there isn't, just persevere. Just push through it, and do reading. Read on. Get yourself a repair manual for your vehicle, and just study it. That's what I did. I love reading those things. It's kind of weird, but I enjoy reading repair manuals. And I've memorized a lot of stuff. So I just wanted, to throw that in there as well. But yeah, we'll get back to it as soon as I'm ready to torque again. I'm gonna finish up here, and when we get to the last bit of torquing at 95 foot-pounds, I will be turning the camera back on, and then it's going to be a non-stop recording from there, because I do want to show the installation of the cams and potentially the valve lashing adjustments. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to do those yet, but we will see. Alright, so we are now going up to 80 foot-pounds on the torque. Lock it down. I don't know if you guys can really see that, but it says 80 foot-pounds. So we're going to start in the center here. Remember, when you do torque, you want to do a smooth motion. You don't want to stop in the middle of it, otherwise the torque's going to be thrown off. So, just a smooth turn. That's 80 foot-pounds. We're just going to do that on the rest of these. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to speed up this a little bit, kind of like a time lapse, just to get through it really quick, but enjoy. That's 80 foot-pounds. Now we just let it sit for about 20 minutes. Then we can go to 95. Always remember to back off your torque wrench so it doesn't, so it keeps accurate. If you keep it torqued or tightened down, you're putting tension on that spring that's in there, and you are ruining its accuracy. So always back off your torque wrench. Alright, so I decided to only go to 90 foot-pounds. Going to 95 or 100 is a little scary for me right now, because I don't want to snap anything. I know these are ARP head studs, but between 90 and 100 foot-pounds is typically where people set their ARP head studs when they replace their head bolts in the Hondas. And it's also recommended by ARP themselves. It says on the website 95 to 100 foot-pounds. I put mine at 90. I'm going to go ahead and try to do another 5 foot-pounds on them, but if I don't feel comfortable, I'm not going to do that. But we will see. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and do the extra 5 foot-pounds, which is probably another quarter turn, half turn on the bolts with a torque wrench. And then we will get into installing the cams, getting the cams in top dead center, because the engine is already in top dead center. As you will see, as you probably have already seen in the previous clips that I put in this video here. Yeah, so rest of it is just, after I get past this part, it's really just hooking up hoses, the mumbo jumbo. So you know what, I'll go ahead and do a time lapse with that, because I'm gonna be getting up underneath the car and everything, to hook up the hoses and everything and all that. And so it's really, I'm in the smooth area right now, just getting everything back and getting this head back on, and hopefully this evening we're gonna hear it run. You're definitely gonna be hearing it run in this video. That is for sure. Well, the cams here. Make sure they're all lined up. Make sure they're sitting in properly. Just give these areas of the cams a nice light coat of oil. Now just oil these cams up so that they have pre-lube on them, or free lubrication on them, so that, again, when you go to start the vehicle, you're not causing any excess wear and tear that you don't want. Who wants any wear and tear anyway on your parts? It's not a good thing. So now we're going to go ahead. I'm going to slide this in here like so. And the clamping force is going to cause those to be sealed. Alright, so now this is a very important piece as well. If I can get this out from under here, because it kind of slipped, the gasket kind of slipped under there. I believe this O-ring here, I'm not sure if it's this one or if it's this real thick one. From what I took out, it looked like it was pretty thick. So this one goes here. I'm going to put that one there, and I'm pretty sure that one is going to be the one that we need to throw in there. Now, this is a pressurized hole. This is what this hole right here in the center. I'll get up a closer look for it, or for you. This hole right here. What this is this the oil supply to your VTEC. That shoots oil. Well, no, I'm sorry. It doesn't shoot oil to your VTEC. Your VTEC he goes through the actual rockers and stuff like that. And they shoot pins out. Anyway, this is your oil supply to your cams through the cam keepers that go across the top of these things. You'll see that later. watching a video, another video on some things, because I needed a refresher. And the guy was Canadian, and he was building his dream setup on his Integra. He thought these were reinforcements. These are not reinforcements. I'll show you why. If you can, you see all them little holes in it? What this does is these little channels right here. That's what this is for. It sprays oil through this. That's what these are. They're little oil galleys. And what they do is they provide oil. Sorry, I'll bleep that out probably. But it supplies oil to all the cam caps. So, going back in. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get my power tools, and I'm gonna zip all these down. But I'm gonna do it in a way that spreads the force out this way, just like I did with my head bolts. You want to work from the center out, but in a circular pattern. That way, everything is perfectly brought down, and you don't have to worry about a whole lot. Unfortunately, some particulates in there, but you know what? I think we'll just be fine. Need to grab a battery. Start in the center. And I need a deep weld. Now I will be going back and tightening these down by hand just to make sure. guys want to criticize me? Whatever. I know what I'm doing here. Oh, you... And it's... Well, boys, you just learned a very powerful lesson. Not necessarily a big issue, because I still have 3 hanging on. I mean, it's still on there pretty tight. But I will have to address that later down, but I just need to get this car running. Alright, it's a little later in the day. My batteries died on me, so I had to let them charge. But I got an Osiris, all Osiris solid engine mounts in there. But anyway, that's besides the point. We got the head together. I did end up accidentally snapping a bolt right here, but that's just a 10mm. I don't think that's really a big importance there. The fact is that these are holding them down. I may have a little bit of an oil leak on this cam seal, but that is well worth the effort. That's stupid easy to do, but we've got it. We've got it all hooked back up. Getting ready to do the valve cover now. That's a pretty simple job. But other than that, we are literally moments away from being able to start this again after this repair and see how it runs. So stay tuned. Alright, valve cover is on. I have already put the gasket in there and replaced all 4 of the spark tube gaskets. We are getting ready to throw this on, but first, I have forgotten, just about forgotten, this thin layer gaskets. Those were gray. It's now the evening. It's probably around 6, 7 o'clock, maybe in the afternoon. And a few mishaps, but just took it for a test drive, and holy crap, this thing is fast. I forgot how fast it was running on just 3 cylinders. Now it's all on all four with fresh valves. Oh my word. It's pushing all 180 plus horsepower that it has from the factory. She's running. Now we just gotta go put gas in her. Let's go.